Some of the most important nights of your life begin with you trying to avoid them. That's the truth nobody tells you. They don't arrive announced. They don't come with warnings or dramatic music. They come disguised as ordinary Saturdays, the kind where you've already changed
Should
into
I
your
go
most
out tonight?
comfortable sweatpants,
Or
poured
just
yourself a
stay
mug
in?
of tea, and made the very reasonable decision that you are a 26-year-old man who does not need to go to parties anymore. That was me. That was my Saturday. My name is Nathan Reyes. I'm a graphic designer living in San
This is so
Francisco,
cozy.
sharing an
I love
apartment
these
on the third
lights.
floor
It
of a
is,
building
and
that
the cider
smells
smells
faintly
amazing.
of old wood and someone else's cooking. I'm the kind of person who owns too many books, drinks too much coffee, and has spent the better part of the last 2 years being very, very good at being alone. Not lonely, alone. I told myself there was a difference. My roommate Marcus disagreed. Marcus was the human equivalent of sunshine, loud, warm, impossible
This party
to
is
ignore,
great, but I'm
and
glad we
always
can
in your
talk.
business whether
Me
you
too, it's
invited
nice
him
to
or
catch
not.
up properly.
We'd been
Absolutely,
friends
let's
since
do this more
college.
often.
He was the kind of person who collected people the way others collect stamps. Everyone loved Marcus. And Marcus, for reasons I had never
I
fully
can't believe how
understood,
late
had
it is.
decided 5
Time
years ago
flies
that
when
I
you're
was
with
worth
good company.
keeping around.
Yeah, this is nice.
That Saturday night, he knocked on my bedroom door at 8:30. "Get dressed," he said. "I'm busy," I said. "You're watching a
beautiful out here
documentary
tonight.
about bridges."
It is.
Bridges
I
are
love nights like this
fascinating.
with you. Me too.
He opened the door anyway. He always did. Marcus had a personal policy against closed doors, both literal and metaphorical. "Eli is throwing a thing," he said, leaning against the doorframe with his arms crossed.
This rain is perfect.
"Not a big
Makes everything
party,
feel
just
cozier.
people, good
Absolutely.
music, good
And this
food,"
coffee is hitting
and
the spot.
he paused
Couldn't agree
just
more.
for a second. His
Look at the
friend is
sunlight through
visiting
these
from
eucalyptus. Wow, it's
So-
beautiful. So peaceful.
So just come, Nathan. When was the last time you went somewhere that wasn't the coffee shop or the grocery store? I opened my mouth to answer and realized I genuinely couldn't remember. That was the moment I knew I was going. Eli's apartment was in the Mission District, a warm, lived-in place with mismatched furniture and plants on every available surface. The kind of home that said, someone who actually lives their life stays here. There were maybe 25 people scattered across the living room and kitchen, soft music playing, the kind that hums under conversation rather than drowning it out. String lights along the bookshelves, the smell of mulled cider and something baking. I relaxed a little. I hadn't expected to.
It's not supposed to do that, right?
Marcus handed me a
Definitely
drink
not.
and
Look at
immediately
that. We
disappeared
made
into
pasta
a
goo.
conversation across the room.
This feels like
giving me
home,
a
doesn't it?
reassuring
It really
thumbs up
does. To
over
found
his shoulder
family.
that I
Cheers.
did not find
I love
reassuring
this.
at all.
Beautiful
Found a
morning,
spot
isn't
near
it?
the window and
Yeah,
settled
really
into
peaceful.
my usual party
Just what I
strategy.
needed.
Observe, sip slowly, and wait until enough time had passed that leaving felt acceptable. That was when I saw him. He was standing near the kitchen doorway, holding a glass with both hands, looking at the bookshelf across the room with the focused expression of someone who was genuinely reading the titles, not just pretending to. He was tall, maybe 6'1", dark hair pushed back from his forehead like he'd tried to tidy it and given up. He was wearing a deep navy
Should I
blue
go out
shirt
tonight?
rolled up at the sleeves,
Or just
and there
stay
was
in?
something about the way he stood, relaxed but present, quiet but not closed off, that made him different from everyone else in the room. I didn't mean to keep looking, I just did. And then, as if he felt it, he turned. His eyes
This
found
is
mine
so
across the
cozy.
room.
I love these lights.
I looked
It
away
is,
immediately,
and the cider
down at
smells
my
amazing.
drink, at the floor, at nothing. Smooth, Nathan, very smooth. I heard footsteps, and then Marcus appeared at my elbow, and beside him was the man from across the room, and Marcus said, with the casual tone of someone who had absolutely planned this, "Nathan, this is Caleb, Eli's friend from Portland. Caleb, this
This
is
party
Nathan,
is great,
my
but I'm glad we
roommate,
can talk.
the one I'm always
Me too,
talking
it's nice to
about."
catch up properly.
And Caleb
Absolutely, let's do
smiled.
this more often.
Not a big smile, not the kind people perform at parties. A small, quiet, real smile, the kind that reaches the
I
eyes
can't believe
first.
how late it is.
He
Time
talks
flies
about you
when you're with good
constantly,
company.
Caleb
Yeah,
said.
this is nice.
His voice was low and calm, like water moving over smooth stone. "I feel like I already know you." Hopefully the edited version.
beautiful
I
out here
said
tonight.
before I could stop
It
myself.
is. I love
He
nights like
laughed,
this with
just
you.
a short
Me
one,
too.
but it was genuine, and somehow that one small laugh undid something in my chest that I hadn't realized was knotted. Marcus vanished again. He was very good at vanishing. Caleb and I talked for the rest of the night.
This rain is
I
perfect.
don't
Makes
know how
everything
it
feel
happened
cozier.
exactly.
Absolutely.
1 minute
And this
we were
coffee
doing
is hitting the
polite
spot.
small talk
Couldn't agree
thing,
more.
Names and jobs.
Look at the
and
sunlight
where are
through
you
these
from?
eucalyptus.
And the next we were
Wow,
sitting
it's
on the
beautiful.
floor by
So
the bookshelf
peaceful.
arguing about whether audiobooks counted as reading. And then somehow it was midnight and the party had thinned out around us and neither of us had noticed. He was a landscape architect. He'd grown up in Texas, moved to Portland 3 years ago, and had a habit of noticing things most people walked past. The way a particular tree grew sideways to reach the light, the way old buildings carried their history in their walls if you looked close enough. "You pay attention to everything," I said at one point, more to myself than to him. "Don't you?" he asked. "I try not to," I admitted. "It's exhausting." He tilted his head slightly.
It's
Or
not supposed
maybe
to do
it's
that,
the
right?
opposite. Maybe paying
Definitely
attention
not.
is
Look
what
at
makes
that.
everything
We made
feel
pasta
like it
goo.
matters. I
This
looked at
feels like
him, he
home,
looked
doesn't
at
it?
me.
It really
Something
does.
passed
To
between
found
us. I
family.
don't have a
Cheers.
better word for it
I
than
love
that.
this.
Something quiet and
Beautiful
warm and a
morning,
little
isn't it?
terrifying.
Yeah, really
I
peaceful.
excused myself
Just
to
what
get
I needed.
another drink. I needed a moment. In the kitchen, I stood at the counter and took a slow breath. I knew what I was feeling. I'd felt it before, twice before to be exact, and both times I had rationalized it away and buried it under layers of keeping busy, staying quiet, being fine. I was good at being fine. But Caleb was looking at me from across the room, and he was talking to someone else now, and he was nodding along politely, but his eyes drifted back to me.
Should I go out
Just
tonight
once, just for a second.
or just stay in?
And my heart did something completely inconvenient. At 1:30, it started to rain. That particular San Francisco rain, not dramatic, not heavy, just persistent and cold and everywhere. People started leaving, pulling
This
on
is
jackets,
so cozy.
calling
I love
rides.
these lights.
It is.
Marcus
And the
pulled
cider
me
smells
aside
amazing.
with the expression of a man badly attempting innocence. "So I'm going to stay and help Eli clean up," he said. "Marcus." "Caleb's staying at a hotel 2 blocks from our place. You could walk together, it's on the way." "Marcus, did you plan?" "I love you, buddy, go." I stood there for a moment, staring
This
at my
party is
oldest
great, but I'm
friend
glad
who
we
was
can talk.
smiling at me
Me
with
too,
the
it's nice to
bottomless
catch up properly.
confidence of
Absolutely,
someone
let's
who
do
knew
this more often.
exactly what they were doing. I should have been annoyed. I was a little annoyed, but there was something else underneath the annoyance,
I can't believe how late
something
it
that
is.
felt a lot
Time
like
flies
gratitude.
when you're with good company. Yeah,
Caleb
this is
appeared
nice.
at my side, jacket in hand. "Marcus said you might want company on the walk," he said. He didn't seem embarrassed. He was just present.
It's beautiful
easy,
out here tonight.
Like he'd already
It
decided
is.
something and was
I love nights
comfortable
like this
it.
with you. Me too.
Outside, the rain was soft and silver under the streetlights. We walked without hurrying, our shoulders closed but not quite touching. The city quiet around us, the way San Francisco gets late on a Saturday, not empty but
This rain is
hushed like
perfect.
it's
Makes
listening.
everything feel cozier.
Tonight was
Absolutely.
good,
And this
Caleb
coffee
said.
is hitting the spot.
Yeah,
Couldn't
I
agree
agreed.
more.
It was.
Look at the
We
sunlight
stopped
through
at
these
the corner
eucalyptus.
where his hotel
Wow,
and
it's
my
beautiful.
street
So
diverged.
peaceful.
We stood there for a moment, rain dotting our jackets, steam rising from a grate nearby. "I'm here until Wednesday," he said. I nodded. "If you wanted to, I don't know, coffee or a walk, I don't know the city very well." I looked at him. The streetlight caught his face just so, the particular warm gold of it against the dark and the rain. "Yeah," I said, "I'd like that." He smiled again, that same quiet, real smile. "Good night, Nathan." "Good night, Caleb." I walked the 2 blocks home in the rain and didn't mind it at all. Sunday morning arrived gray and soft, the city still damp from
It's
the
not
night
supposed
before.
to do that, right?
I was
Definitely
already awake
not.
when
Look
Marcus
at that.
shuffled
We
into
made
the
pasta
kitchen
goo.
at 9, which told him everything
This feels
he
like
needed
home,
to
doesn't
know.
it?
It
I
really
was
does.
never
To
awake
found
before
family.
10 on
Cheers.
Sundays.
I love
He
this.
poured himself coffee and sat
Beautiful
across
morning,
from me
isn't
at
it?
the kitchen table
Yeah,
with the
really
patient
peaceful.
expression of a man
Just what
who
I
was
needed.
about to be very insufferable. So he said, "Don't," I said. I didn't say anything. "You were about to say something very annoying." He smiled into his mug. "I was just going to ask how the walk was." I looked at him, he looked at me, I picked up my coffee. "We're getting coffee today," I said, very carefully neutral. Marcus made a sound that was not quite a word, but communicated absolute delight. We met at a small
Should I
cafe
go out
on
tonight?
Valencia Street, the
Or
kind
just
of place
stay
with
in?
mismatched ceramic mugs and a chalkboard menu, and jazz playing so quietly you had to choose to notice it. Caleb was already there when I arrived. He'd gotten a corner table by the window and was looking out at the street with that same quality of calm attention
This
I'd
is
noticed
so
the night
cozy.
before.
I love these lights.
He looked
It
up
is,
when I came
and
in.
the cider
He
smells
smiled,
amazing.
not the polite social smile, the real one. Something about seeing that smile again made me feel like I'd been walking uphill for a long time and had just crested the top. We sat for 3 hours. 3 hours, 3 mugs of coffee each, a shared slice of banana bread, and a conversation that moved like a river. Fast in some places, slow in others, easy throughout.
This party is great,
We talked
but I'm
about our
glad we can
families.
talk.
He was the
Me
youngest
too,
of 3
it's nice to
brothers.
catch
I was
up
an
properly.
only child
Absolutely,
raised by a
let's do
single
this
mother
more
who worked
often.
double shifts and still somehow came to every art show I'd ever had. We talked about our work. We talked about the things that had shaped us.
I can't
And at
believe how
some
late
point,
it is.
I don't know
Time flies
exactly
when you're
when
with
we
good
stopped
company.
performing
Yeah, this is nice.
conversation and just started talking, the way you can with very few people. Can I ask you something? Caleb said sometime during the third
It's beautiful
coffee.
out here tonight.
Sure, I said.
It is. I
When
love
did you
nights like
know
this with
about
you.
yourself, I
Me
mean?
too.
The question landed gently, not intrusively, not presumptuously, just honestly. I wrapped my hands around my mug. 17, I said, but I didn't do anything about it until I was 22.
This rain is perfect. Makes everything feel
I was
cozier.
very good at
Absolutely.
waiting.
And this coffee is
He
hitting the
nodded
spot.
slowly.
Couldn't agree
I
more.
was 19. I
Look at the
told my
sunlight
best
through these
friend first.
eucalyptus.
He was
Wow,
great
it's
about
beautiful.
it, but my
So
family
peaceful.
took longer. How long? 3 years, he said it simply, without drama, like it was a fact that had once been painful and now was just part of the story. They came around, mostly it's still, he made a small gesture, work in progress. I looked at him across the table. There was something I recognized in what he'd said, not the specific details, but the shape of it, the long patience of it, the way you learn to hold yourself together while you wait for people to catch up to who you actually are. Yeah, I said quietly, I know that. We looked at each other and something settled between us. Not dramatic, not electric, just
It's not supposed
real,
to do that,
the
right?
kind of recognition that
Definitely
doesn't need
not.
to be
Look at
announced.
that. We made pasta
Over the
goo.
next 3 days, we were together
This feels like
every
home, doesn't
available
it?
moment.
It really does. To found
Monday,
family.
We walked
Cheers.
through Golden Gate
I
Park
love
in the
this.
afternoon through tunnels
Beautiful
of
morning,
eucalyptus
isn't it?
and around the edges
Yeah,
of the
really
lake.
peaceful.
He stopped
Just
often
what I
to
needed.
look at a particular tree to notice the way the light came through the canopy. I started stopping too. I started to see what he saw. Tuesday, I took him to the De Young Museum because he'd mentioned he'd never been, and I had a weakness for watching people encounter art for the first time. He stood in front of a Richard Diebenkorn painting for a long time without saying anything. And then, he's painting the feeling of looking out a window, Caleb said. Not what's
Should
outside,
I go out tonight?
the feeling of looking.
Or just stay
I
in.
stared at the painting. He was right. I had looked at that painting probably a dozen times and never seen it that clearly. How do you do that? I said. Do what? See things. He turned and looked at me.
This
and
is
something
so
in the way
cozy.
he
I
looked
love these
quiet
lights.
and certain
It is.
and careful
And the
made
cider
my
smells
breath
amazing.
catch. I'm just paying attention, he said. Tuesday evening, we had dinner at a tiny Ethiopian restaurant in the Tenderloin that Marcus had recommended. We ate with our hands, sharing dishes, and talked about everything and nothing. I made him laugh, really laugh, surprised and full 3 times, and each time felt like winning something.
This party is great, but I'm
Walking
glad we
home,
can
our
talk.
hands brushed.
Me too.
once,
It's nice to
twice.
catch up properly.
The
Absolutely.
third time,
Let's do
neither
this
of
more
us
often.
pulled away. We walked a full block like that, hands not quite holding, but not separate either, the tips of our fingers
I can't
barely
believe how
touching
late
in
it
the
is.
cold air.
Time flies
And
when
it
you're with
was,
good company.
it was the
Yeah,
most
this is
quietly
nice.
overwhelming thing I had felt in years. Outside my building, we stopped. I leave Wednesday, he said. He didn't say it sadly.
It's beautiful
just
out here
honestly.
tonight. It is.
I know, I said.
I love nights like
I
this
don't
with you.
want to,
Me
he
too.
said. I want you to know that, whatever this is, I don't want to leave it. I looked at him standing in the streetlight. At everything I'd noticed about him in 3 days, the way he pushed his hair back when he was thinking, the way he went quiet
This
when
rain is
something
perfect.
mattered,
Makes everything
the
feel
way he had
cozier.
looked at me at that
Absolutely.
party
And this coffee
across
is
a
hitting the
crowded
spot.
room
Couldn't
like I
agree
was
more.
something worth looking at.
Look at the sunlight through these
I had spent
eucalyptus.
so long being
Wow, it's
careful,
beautiful.
so
So
long
peaceful.
keeping myself at a safe distance from anything that could hurt. I was very good at it. I had turned it into an art form. In standing there looking at Caleb, I felt all that careful distance quietly crumble. Then don't, I said. He took one step closer. Nathan, I know you live in Portland and I live here, and I know this is complicated, I said. And my voice was steadier than I expected, but I have spent 2 years being extremely sensible and I'm very tired of it. He looked at me for a long moment. Rain started again, that same soft, persistent rain. And then he reached up
It's not
and
supposed to
gently
do that,
brushed
right?
a drop of rain
Definitely
from my cheek
not.
with
Look
his
at that.
thumb.
We made
He
pasta
left
goo.
his hand there, warm against my
This
face.
feels like home, doesn't it?
I've been
It really
paying
does.
attention
To found
you
family.
since the moment
Cheers.
you looked away from
I
me
love
at
this.
that party, he said
Beautiful
quietly.
morning, isn't
You
it?
looked right at
Yeah,
me and
really
then looked
peaceful.
away so fast,
Just what
like
I
you were
needed.
scared of what you'd seen. I admitted. Were you scared now? I thought about it honestly. Yes, I said, but the good kind. He smiled and then he kissed me. Soft and slow and warm, a first kiss that felt like it had been waiting patiently for the right moment and had finally decided this was it. Rain falling around us, the city humming quietly, his hand still warm against my face. When we
Should
stepped
I go
back,
out
I was
tonight
smiling. I couldn't
or
help
just
it.
stay in?
It was the kind of smile that comes from somewhere so deep you don't get a vote. I'll come back, he said, or you'll come to Portland or both. Both, I said. He laughed, and then he kissed me once more, shorter this time, but just
This
as
is so
certain, like a
cozy. I love
promise.
these lights.
Good
It
night,
is,
Nathan.
and the cider smells
Good
amazing.
night, Caleb. I went upstairs. Marcus was on the couch. He took one look at my face and said nothing, just raised his coffee mug in a small, quiet toast. I went to my room and lay on my bed in the dark, smiling at the ceiling, rain tapping on the window. For the first time in a long time, the alone didn't feel lonely at all.
This party is great, but I'm
He
glad
left
we can
Wednesday
talk.
morning.
Me too. It's nice to catch
I
up
knew
properly.
he was leaving
Absolutely.
at 11.
Let's do this more
He'd
often.
mentioned it the night before. I didn't go to the airport. We hadn't talked about that, but at 10:45 my phone lit up.
I can't believe
On
how
my
late
way
it
to
is.
the airport,
Time
last
flies
night
when you're
was
with good
everything
company.
talk tonight.
Yeah, this is nice.
I typed back talk tonight. And that was how it started. Not with grand declarations or dramatic decisions, just two people
beautiful out
choosing
here
very
tonight.
deliberately
It
to
is.
keep paying attention.
I love nights like this with you.
The weeks
Me
that
too.
followed were the strangest and most quietly wonderful of my life. We talked every night, sometimes for 20 minutes, sometimes for 2 hours. We talked about our days, the ordinary details of living, and somehow those ordinary details became the most interesting
This
thing
rain
in
is
the world.
perfect. Makes
I
everything
started
feel
telling him
cozier.
about my work.
Absolutely.
He started
And this
telling me
coffee is
about
hitting the
his
spot.
projects.
Couldn't
We
agree
argued
more.
about movies and agreed
Look
about
at the
music
sunlight
and
through
read
these
the same novel
eucalyptus.
simultaneously,
Wow, it's
so we could
beautiful.
discuss
So
it chapter
peaceful.
by chapter. Marcus observed all of this with enormous satisfaction and the restraint to say very little about it, which was the most generous thing he'd ever done for me. 4 weeks after the party, Caleb came back to San Francisco. He got a project consultation there, a Parks Commission meeting that could have been done by video call, but which he mentioned very casually he'd volunteered to attend in person. He stayed for a long weekend. We walked everywhere. We cooked dinner together in my apartment, badly happily, and stood side by side at the counter with flour on our hands, laughing at a completely collapsed attempt at pasta from scratch. We should have just ordered pizza, I said. Absolutely
It's not
not,
supposed
he
to do
said.
that, right?
This is a memory.
Definitely not.
It
Look
was-
at that.
it was such a
We
good
made
memory.
pasta goo.
That weekend,
This feels
lying
like
on my
home,
couch
doesn't it?
late Saturday
really
night,
does. To
the
found
city
family.
outside the window,
Cheers.
some old
I love
film
this.
playing softly on the TV.
Beautiful
he
morning,
said.
isn't it?
I've
Yeah,
been
really
thinking
peaceful.
about something.
Just what I
Good
needed.
thinking or complicated thinking, I asked. Both. I turned to look at him. My lease in Portland is up in March, he said. He was watching the TV, but I could tell he wasn't seeing it. I've been freelancing for 2 years. I can work from anywhere. There's a firm here I've been in conversation with. My heart did something large and immediate. I stayed very still. I'm not saying, he stopped, started again. I don't want you to feel pressured. I know
Should
this
I
is
go out
fast,
tonight?
I know.
Or just
Caleb, I
stay
said.
in.
He looked at me. Are you telling me you're thinking about moving to San Francisco? I'm telling you I'm thinking about it, he said carefully, and I'm telling you that you're a significant part of the thinking. I looked
This
at
is
him
so
at this
cozy.
man who
I
had
love
walked
these
into a party
lights.
I
It
almost
is,
had an
and the
attendant
cider smells
who had
amazing.
looked at me across a crowded room and paid attention, who had kissed me in the rain and then called me every single night for a month, who stood in museums and saw what paintings were actually saying and stopped on sidewalks to notice the way trees grew toward the light. I thought about 2 years of careful, sensible, safe distance. I thought about how tired I was of the view
This
from
party
behind
is great,
all that
but I'm
safety.
glad we can talk. Me
The
too.
thinking
It's nice to
sounds good
catch
to
up
me, I
properly.
said.
Absolutely. Let's do
He
this more
exhaled
often.
a long, slow breath like he'd been holding it. Then he smiled, that quiet, real smile. Okay, he said.
I can't believe how late
Okay,
it
I
is.
said.
Time flies when
March
you're with
came
good
with its
company.
particular
Yeah, this
San
is nice.
Francisco brightness, that clean, cold, golden light that makes the city look like it's been washed and hung out to dry. Caleb's boxes
It's
arrived
beautiful
on
out here
Thursday.
tonight.
He had
It
fewer
is.
things than I
I
expected,
love nights like
which
this
was
with
both
you. Me
practical
too.
and somehow completely characteristic of him. Marcus and Eli helped carry everything up 2 flights of stairs, which involved a great deal of complaining from Marcus and a great deal of patient efficiency from Caleb, who had
This
packed
rain is perfect.
everything with
Makes
the
everything feel
precision of
cozier.
someone who had
Absolutely.
actually
And this
thought about
coffee is
what
hitting the
they
spot.
owned and
Couldn't
why.
agree more.
By evening,
Look at the sunlight through these
boxes were stacked
eucalyptus.
in the spare room
Wow, it's
of the
beautiful.
apartment
So
Caleb
peaceful.
had found 4 blocks from where I lived, which felt exactly right. Close enough, not rushed. We were doing this at the right speed, taking the time to learn each other properly. That night, Eli made dinner for all 4 of us. The same kind of evening as the party, warm light, good food, easy conversation. Marcus kept glancing between Caleb and me with the look of a man experiencing profound personal satisfaction. At one point he caught me watching and mouthed, "You're welcome." I rolled my eyes. I also mouthed back, "Thank you." He grinned. He knew I meant it. But I want to tell you about one more moment, because this is the one that
It's not supposed
stays
to do
with
that,
me,
right?
the one that feels
Definitely
like the
not.
truest
Look at
shape
that.
of everything.
We made pasta goo.
It was a Sunday in April.
This feels like
We
home,
had
doesn't
walked to
it?
the park.
It really
a
does.
habit
To
we
found family.
developed. Sunday
Cheers.
mornings, the
I love
park,
this.
coffee from the place on the corner.
Beautiful morning,
We
isn't
found
it?
a bench near
Yeah,
the pond
really
where the
peaceful.
light came through the
Just
trees
what I
in
needed.
long, lazy columns, and we sat there close together, not always talking, just present. Caleb was quiet for a while, watching the water. "Can I tell you something?" he said finally. "Always," I said. "When I was 23, he said slowly, "I was in a relationship. He wasn't a bad person, but he wasn't ready to be visible, to be out openly. And I had just finally gotten to a place where I was comfortable with who I was and being with someone who was
Should I go
ashamed
out
of it."
tonight?
He stopped.
Or just stay
It
in?
cost me something. It took a long time to get it back. I listened. I didn't fill the silence. I spent a long time after that being afraid that caring about someone meant being erased again, he said. So I kept things surface level,
This is so
easy,
cozy. I love these
temporary.
lights.
It is.
He looked at
and
me
the
then.
cider smells amazing.
And then Marcus wouldn't stop talking about his roommate, he said, and something warm came into his eyes. This graphic designer who read too much and worked too hard and never went anywhere, but who Marcus swore was worth knowing. And I thought, okay, fine, one party. One party, I repeated. One party, he said, and you looked
This
at me
party
and
is
looked
great,
away
but I'm
so
glad we can
fast,
talk.
and I
Me
thought
too, it's
there's
nice to
someone
catch
who
up
feels
properly.
things
Absolutely,
and is
let's do
frightened
this
of
more
them,
often.
that I understand, that I know. I was very quiet for a moment. "I spent 2 years being afraid," I said,
I can't
"of
believe how late
exactly
it is.
this, not of
Time
being
flies when
gay,
you're with
I was
good
at
company.
peace with
Yeah,
that,
this
but
is
of
nice.
wanting something, of letting it matter." "Why?" "Because when things matter, you can lose them." He reached over and took
It's
my
beautiful
hand,
out here
just
tonight.
held it warm
It is.
and easy and without
I love nights like
ceremony.
this with you. Me too.
"Yeah," he said, "but when things matter, you also get to have them." I looked out at the water, at the light coming through the trees, at the ordinary, extraordinary morning, the park, the coffee going cold, the city humming in the distance.
This rain is perfect.
"I'm
Makes
glad
everything feel
Marcus
cozier.
texted me," I
Absolutely.
said.
And this coffee is
"I'm
hitting the
glad you
spot.
went," Caleb
Couldn't
said.
agree more.
I almost
Look at the
didn't.
sunlight through these
I know,
eucalyptus.
he squeezed my hand.
Wow, it's
but
beautiful.
you did.
So peaceful.
That's the thing about the important nights. The ones that change everything. They don't announce themselves. They come disguised as ordinary Saturdays, as texts you almost don't reply to, as parties you almost skip. They come looking like nothing. And then you walk through the door and across a warm room full of people, someone looks at you, really looks at you, and something in you says, "Pay attention. This one matters." And if you're brave enough to stay in the room, if you're tired enough of the safe distance, if you look back instead of looking away, then the ordinary Saturday becomes the night everything changed. I am still
It's not
learning how
supposed
to
to
let
do that,
things
right?
matter.
Definitely
Caleb is
not. Look
teaching
at
me
that. We
slowly,
made pasta
patiently,
goo.
the way he does everything.
This feels like
The way
home,
you
doesn't
notice
it?
a tree
It really
growing
does. To
sideways
found family.
toward the light.
Cheers.
The way you
I love
stand in
this.
front of a painting until you see
Beautiful
what it's
morning,
actually
isn't it?
saying.
Yeah, really
I am
peaceful.
learning to stop looking
Just
away.
what I needed.
I am learning that love, the real kind, is not something that happens to you while you're being careful. It's something you choose over and over in the small moments, in the ordinary Sundays, to walk toward. And I am walking.
Look at the sunlight
I
through
am
these
so glad to be
eucalyptus.
walking.
Wow.